Welcome. In this episode of Draft Profiles, we're going to review University of Texas receivers Adonai Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, and tight end Jatavian Sanders' game against Alabama, so we can see how they stood up against stiff competition. Stay to the end for my grade on them as a prospect coming into the NFL. To start off, we're going to talk about Adonai Mitchell, receiver from University of Texas. So what we got here is Mitchell being covered by Arnold. He runs upfield, and as he goes to cut in, it takes a step or two to slow down, make his move. So let's take a look at his route running. When he makes the cut, it takes him a step or two to be going horizontally, so rather than a sharp cut, it is a route that is more rounded. Because of this, Arnold has a chance to come in and break up the pass. Now looking at his run blocking, we can see that Arnold gets inside and blows up the running back during the toss play. When we slow this down, we can see that Mitchell doesn't expect Arnold to be blitzing inside, so he first takes a step outside, losing his leverage, and he isn't quick enough to block him down inside. His physicality and run blocking is going to be something that he is going to want to work on if he wants to be a top-tier starting receiver in the NFL. This play here shows one of Mitchell's greatest strengths, his ability to make a contested catch. So in this, he fakes to the inside first, goes out, the quarterback throws it up to him, and he makes the catch over McKinstry's shoulder. The best part about this throw and catch is the fact that this is what Mitchell is going to expect when he's in the NFL. So many times you're in tight coverage and you don't have a lot of room for error. You need to catch over defenders' bodies. This one shows Mitchell's ability to make plays in the red zone by running a route commonly seen by big body receivers in the NFL. After the snap, he runs an inside slant, working to his way across the middle, making the catch behind the linebacker. He does a good job getting into a spot where his quarterback can throw it. This combined with the over-the-shoulder catches shows why he is an NFL-ready receiver who deserves to be highly valued by NFL teams. This play really shows how good Mitchell is, not just in one-on-one matchups, but also within the scheme of the offense. In this, he runs down deep, fakes like he's going to go in, and then goes up, and there's no one covering him in the zone, and he goes deep for the touchdown and makes the catch. Here we have Mitchell doing an end around, and as he goes through the traffic, he only has one hand on the ball and has it ripped out. Now, of course, he's going to need to work on having better ball security when he's going into a gang tackle. But the fact that he can effectively do end arounds shows that he has a lot of versatility and speed. We're going to cover the tight end, Jatavian Sanders. In this first play, Sanders is the check down target, a common situation he's going to find himself in when he gets to the NFL, and when he catches it, he is hit and loses the ball. He is really lucky that he didn't have possession long enough for it to be ruled a fumble, and he needs to work on ball security once he's in the NFL because defenders are going to be really good at punching the ball out or ripping out the ball for fumbles. Here is a play action pass where we can see Sanders, who excels at getting downfield behind the linebackers in zone coverage, and he gets yards after the catch for a huge gain. And I just want to draw attention to the fact that he has a great stiff arm there so that we can get outside, get upfield, and get more yards. And here is a similar play against zone, but this time he's going against the flow of all the other routes. He's almost able to break a tackle and make a big play. On this fourth down in the red zone, we see a play here drawn up for Sanders that is used often in the NFL. After motioning, he runs a short drag route, getting through a legal pick play for an easy conversion for the first down. I could see him being used like this frequently, maybe with a few wrinkles for receivers downfield once he gets into professional football. Here's another play we commonly see drawn up for athletic tight ends in the NFL. Sanders initially blocks, releases, the QB hits him in rhythm, and he runs down the field with blockers in front for a nice gain. Unfortunately, again, he shows a tendency to not protect the ball, and he coughs it up, which I believe was recovered, fortunately, by Texas in this play. To finish up, we're going to cover Xavier Worthy, the receiver who ran an incredible 40 time at the combine. Here Worthy runs a simple flat route out of the backfield, but the Alabama corner tries to lay a big hit, and Worthy is able to stay up and get upfield. showing his ability to absorb contact and get out of tackles when defenders don't wrap up. Here Worthy shows his versatility as a playmaker. He is capable at running these orbit motion type routes, but also has the added wrinkle of the wide receiver pass, which on this play is an absolute dime downfield. The receiver is in tight man-to-man, and Worthy drops it in perfectly, which probably would have been caught if the Alabama defender didn't interfere and slow the receiver down. Just like Sanders, Worthy is also good at getting quick passes, quick screens, getting upfield for big gains. In this touchdown play, you will see where Worthy excels, deep routes and man-to-man coverage. Here Worthy gets behind the defender and the ball is on time, and Worthy makes the excellent play downfield. This is where he will excel in the NFL, beating man-to-man coverage or forcing teams to play too deep shell coverages, leaving them exposed to underneath routes. Here in the end around, we can see another way that Worthy is used, although he is going to want to improve the way he reads his blocks and tries to set things up for big gains downfield. Now let's talk about some things he needs to improve on. In this play, you can see the quarterback throws it to him in rhythm, but it hits him right on the hands, and Texas has to settle for a field goal. In order for him to be a reliable target in the NFL, he is going to need to be able to work on securing the catch. These are the routine catch that has to be made by any starting receiver in the pro league. In this play, there is another drop by Worthy. The quarterback delivers him the ball, and he is open, but the pass is just a little too high. Worthy gets his hands on the ball but drops it, and he will need to work on increasing his catch radius so that way he can be better all-around wide receiver and be a consistent starter in the NFL. Now to finish up, here is a play that a lot of NFL scouts are going to see that may affect his draft stock and make teams hesitant to select him high, despite the impressive speed that he showed at the combine. Here Worthy runs a short route and just stops running. Instead of running to the middle and getting into the quarterback's line of sight, he stands there watching the play, and the quarterback tries instead to scramble up the middle for a minimal gain. Receivers' instincts on off-platform throws is more and more important in the NFL than it's ever been, and if he stops mid-play, it may affect how he is valued by NFL teams. So now let's start our grades. Adonai Mitchell, he may not have game-breaking speed, but he is a very fast wide receiver, especially for his size. His route running is good on certain routes, but he is going to need to work on the crispness of those routes that have sharp breaks. He is good at catching the ball, but does have some concerns with fumbles. So going to Jatavian Sanders. His speed for a tight end is good on film, but he did have a 4.7 second 40 at the combine, which isn't great. So it is possible that he plays faster than he tests, but regardless, he may struggle in getting open and go routes against athletic linebackers and safeties. He is an excellent route runner, especially with intermediary routes against zone, and really has a knack for getting yards after the catch. He seems like a natural pass catcher, but not securing the ball properly could be detrimental for him in the NFL. Now for Xavier Worthy. He obviously had the lightning fast 40 time, and he also looks fast on film, but he may not have the burst and acceleration of Tyreek Hill, but by being a taller receiver, he will have longer strides and really be difficult to keep up with in man-to-man coverage. He shows some nuance in his route running, but his catching really drops his grade down. He doesn't seem like a natural pass catcher, so he's going to want to become used to intentionally catching the ball until that skill becomes more natural for him. So overall, how do I rate these pass catchers? I see Adonai Mitchell and Jatavian Sanders as both B+ because their flaws aren't as detrimental to their position as Xavier Worthy's issues with drops. I see all of these players as a pick 25 to 40 type who could go a lot higher if a team falls in love with their traits, and they will fit well into their offense. I could see all of these players fitting well with really any team if they last in the mid-20s, and I could see teams being interested in trading up either in the first or even teams picking higher in the second round. Thank you everybody for sticking around till the end. Like and subscribe and share. Help me spread this content to other people so that way I can grow, bring in more numbers, and make these deep dive videos even better with more additional content. And we will see you in the next one.